You've been going through a deeply painful and confusing time after your wife confessed to cheating on you 3 months into your marriage. She revealed this shocking information just weeks after giving birth to your first child, which has only added to your emotional turmoil. According to her, the affair only involved physical touching with one of her exes, but you're finding it difficult to believe her completely. On top of that, the timing of her confession has raised concerns about whether your child is biologically yours, leading you to secretly order a paternity test, which is arriving soon. You're currently overwhelmed with conflicting emotions. On one hand, you're devastated and feel deeply betrayed by her actions, especially considering all the sacrifices you've made for her. You've worked hard in your career to provide for her dream of being a stay-at-home mom, purchase her a car, and are even planning to move across the country to be closer to her family. Despite doing everything you could to build a good life together, this is how she has repaid you, and it's leaving you feeling deeply hurt. On the other hand, you still love her, which makes everything more complicated. You are torn between your love for her and the anger you feel toward her betrayal. This internal conflict is making it difficult for you to make a clear decision about what to do next. One of the reasons you're holding back from ending the marriage immediately is your concern for your child. Even though you're hurt and depressed, you're considering staying in the marriage for the sake of your child, believing that a two-parent household might be the best environment for them. You fear that if you file for divorce, the court will grant your wife majority custody, given that she's the mother, even though she currently doesn't have a job and would likely have to live with her parents. You're worried this wouldn't be the best situation for your child. At the same time, you're terrified of the thought of suffering for the next 18 years, staying in a relationship that causes you so much pain just for the sake of your child. You're afraid that continuing like this will have a lasting impact on your mental health, but the alternative, being separated from your child, also feels unbearable. You're also struggling with another layer of complexity. Your wife has threatened to harm herself if you were to leave her, which has left you feeling trapped and scared. This makes the idea of leaving her even more difficult, as you're afraid of what might happen if you do. At 25, you know that you still have a long life ahead of you, but in this moment, it's hard to see beyond the pain you're currently feeling. You want to be happy, but no matter what option you consider, it feels like you're losing either way. You feel completely alone, unable to talk to anyone about what's going on, and you're masking your depression to try to keep things together on the outside. But internally, you feel like you're falling apart. I made a decision a few months ago, determined not to change it. But now, I find myself regretting that choice. Although I know what he did was wrong, I can't shake the feelings of missing him. I remember how he treated me at the beginning of our relationship, and it's hard to believe I might never find that kind of connection again. I'm left wondering if I should go back to him. My wife has been unfaithful for the last year, which has taken a toll on our marriage. To give you some context, we have been married for 13 years and together for 15. During this time, neither of us has been completely faithful to one another. However, in May 2023, things took a turn for the worse when she met someone through a Facebook group chat. Without any discussion, she took our 3 children and went to stay with her parents, who lived 10 hours away. She expressed her desire for a divorce and mentioned wanting to be with this other man. Fast forward to October 2023, and she decided she wanted to come back and work on our marriage. She claimed that the other man was no longer part of her life and acknowledged that we needed to rebuild trust. Since her return, I have committed myself to the marriage and have avoided any inappropriate conversations with other women. However, tonight was a turning point. When I got home from work, I found her asleep with her phone face down on her chest. Out of curiosity, I picked it up and was shocked to discover that she had been FaceTiming that same guy. It was evident that he had never truly left her life, which fueled my suspicions about her behavior, particularly her tendency to guard her phone like it was a secret. After confronting her about this discovery, I made it clear that if she chose to leave again, she would not be welcome back. I also told her that if she came to collect her belongings, she should bring the police with her. This evening did not unfold as I had anticipated, and now I find myself grappling with the reality of my marriage and what lies ahead. Now I'd like to share another story that also needs attention. My marriage has reached a critical point where I need advice, but I prefer to keep this matter private and not involve family or friends. I've been with my husband for 10 years, and for the most part, our relationship has been wonderful. We rarely fought, enjoyed spending time together, and had a healthy, intimate life. Things were nearly perfect until about 3 years ago when he began experiencing severe anxiety due to the demands of his job, which often required him to work long and irregular hours. He frequently came home exhausted and opened up to me about his struggles, which I initially believed were just a phase. Unfortunately, he soon became addicted to online poker. Whenever he wasn't working, he was playing, even during family gatherings or events for our kids. He would stay up late playing and not come to bed, which began to create distance between us. I hope this was just a temporary issue, as marriages often go through difficult times, right? However, as his focus shifted towards poker, our intimacy nearly vanished, and I found myself becoming increasingly distant. In the midst of this, he started to irritate me daily, and I often responded with attitude. I tried to encourage him to spend quality time with me or watch a movie, but he would agree while still engrossed in his poker games. Over time, he began to accuse me of being unfaithful. For instance, he once discovered a pair of my underwear that I had previously mentioned I didn't like wearing. I wore them once for a day and night, but he hadn't even noticed. Another incident occurred when he found a condom, which our 16-year-old son claimed wasn't his. I later discovered the condom in my husband's pocket while doing laundry. On another occasion, I came home from work and rushed to the bathroom before greeting him. He noticed that I had brushed my teeth and became suspicious. As part of my gig work, I sometimes had to wait for orders at Walmart for hours. On some days, I would go to different locations if my regular spot was busy, which he found suspicious because I didn't always mention it to him. Things escalated when we went on a family vacation with a longtime friend of mine. My husband made a hurtful comment which upset me, though I didn't express it outwardly. When I asked why he was leaving early, he interpreted my question as flirtatious. Later, our son ended up on the couch with us in the middle of the night, and my husband accused me of being unfaithful, claiming I carried our son downstairs to cover my tracks. At another sports event, I expressed my frustration at my husband for being late. He showed up 45 minutes after I had asked him not to. He remarked that his only purpose at the game was to pay the bills, and accused me of checking out the coach, who had called him shortly after I had spoken to him. Recently, I discovered that I am pregnant. The due date indicates that conception occurred during a weekend when we fought, and he slept on the couch. He swore the baby wasn't his, prompting me to spend $1,800 on a prenatal DNA test, which confirmed he is the father. Despite this, he still doesn't fully trust me. For the past 4 months, we have been embroiled in daily arguments, with him continually accusing me of lying and being unfaithful. I have done everything in my power to prove my innocence, including sharing my phone, emails, and installing a family tracking app. We even restored deleted calls and texts from my phone, all to no avail, as nothing incriminating was found. The 2 times he accused me of infidelity coincided with moments when I wasn't giving him attention and was being kind to another man. I now avoid sports games if I suspect the coach will be present, and even staying home from events has not quelled his suspicions. I've tried countless ways to reassure him, but nothing seems to work. I'm at a loss and don't want my marriage to end. I need advice on how to navigate this situation and restore the relationship we once cherished. Thank you for taking the time to listen